Hey, what's up everybody? I am AJ Gels and this is the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. It is Friday, October 9th, and this is the very first episode that I am doing. If you did not see the video I posted up, I believe it was Wednesday, if you want, go back and check it out, if you don't. It was basically just a quick thank you to the friends and family who helped me get, here and doing this YouTube channel. I had also told you kind of what I plan to do with this channel. This part of the channel will basically be, I don't want to put this, kind of like a weekly wrap up of the news. I love IGN. I follow I follow video game news. So I'm just trying to. Sorry, I trailed off there. I'm basically trying to just do kind of like a weekly wrap up for people who don't. Maybe follow the news as much, maybe give a new perspective on some of these, I'll have some topics, I'll talk about what I'm playing this week, this, that, and the other thing, could be a fun show, down in the description below, there will be the times where each topic's hit, so if you aren't a fan of one topic, or if there's something that just interests you and not so much of the other ones, you can just skip right to that part. Also, in the description below are links to my Facebook, my Twitter, and my website. I put my reviews up on my website. There'll be links in the Twitter and the Facebook and whatnot. Also, check this channel later on. Eventually, I'll start doing Let's Plays. It's just a matter of I need the equipment and the software to do it. I just don't have a whole lot of money right now. Yeah, I think that goes for about all the housekeeping that I was planning on doing. I'm gonna jump right into the news, and the first thing up is the PS4 Price Drop. Apparently this is happening today, October 9th, and we'll drop the price a good $50. So, if you haven't picked up your PS4, I'd suggest doing that. There are plenty of bundles out there. Fantastic deals. Also, the Xbox Elite controller, it's that nice, sleek-looking black controller, with that little, my favorite part is that little UFO flying saucer disc D-pad thing, really cool looking. It apparently will feature remappable buttons. And according to Mike Ibarra, the partner director of project management, and you can find him at his Twitter, at Xbox Quick, that is Quick, Q-W-I-K, he tweeted on October 4th at Stav Ellis at Xbox P3, it's coming for all controllers soon. So I guess what this means is all newer models of the Xbox One controller will feature this remappable platform. Also, in the Xbox One, we have a new bundle that was announced last weekend. It is a 1 terabyte hard drive, a physical copy of Fallout 4, and will also come with a digital download code for Fallout 3. Falling in on Xbox news, Titanfall. Anybody remembers that? It was the multiplayer exclusive shooter. I believe was both this and was current and last gen. Well, apparently, according to developer Respawn Entertainment, the game has hit 10 million copies sold. This personally shocks me. These games usually don't hold popularity for long, and I just find, I find it a little weird that it's hit 10 million copies, but good for them, good for Respawn Entertainment, and and this is all according to the studio founder, who also told IGN back in March that a sequel is in the works, but we do not have a name. We don't know if it is Titanfall 2, it could be Titanfall colon, I don't know. But apparently this one will be multi-platformed and not an Xbox exclusive. And speaking of these exclusive multiplayer shooters, I kind of, I guess kind of talking about this channel for a quick second is, sorry, every week I kind of want to pose, kind of like a topic, like a discussion topic or whatever, go to the comments or go to my Facebook page, whatever, or tweet at me even, your thoughts on these and today, I want to talk about these multiplayer exclusive shooters. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of them. I'll play Call of Duty online. I like Destiny. I'm interested to see what Ubisoft's going to do with The Division come March with The Division from Ubisoft come March. But, it's these games like Titanfall, Evolve. I know Rainbow Siege is coming out in December. all of these, it just seems like their popularity doesn't last long. These are games that people have to keep playing online for them to keep, I guess, being successful. And I mean, Evolve has already, and I think that came out, I think that's been out about a year, maybe, if my timeline's correct. I could be way off the mark on that, and if I am, I apologize. But, Evolve the player base has been dropping significantly, and it just really begs the question: are all of these games worth the $60 price tag without a proper campaign? And like I said, if you have any comments about that, please, like I said, tweet at me, contact me on the Facebook, go into the comments, tell me if maybe I'm way off, maybe trying to explain to me why these are so cool. I personally don't get it. But I'm always willing to hear someone else's point of view from this. Also, if anybody hasn't, I believe everybody knows that of course, it's a Star Wars game, Star Wars Battlefront, coming out, I believe, mid-November. I believe the open beta is up right now, so if you want to go play that, that's another one that, again, I see that one doing well because it has the Star Wars kind of has the logo. But another question that I keep having about these, though, are games like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto heading in this direction. Grand Theft Auto Online has been super popular with players. I have both versions or both generations of Grand Theft Auto 5, and I've played a little bit of the online experience. It's a lot of fun, but I don't know. I mean, if you haven't heard, recently Rockstar has gone on a hiring binge, and kind of hiring a bunch of people for what seem, reading the positions, it seems like there's going to be a new they're working on the next Grand Theft Auto. And I don't know, you go in the comments, like I said, go tell me if you think this next one's going to be all online, or if it's not, tell me why. It also begs the question, are games like Call of Duty going in this direction? We all know that Call of Duty has mostly a multiplayer fan base, and also, speaking of Call of Duty, again, it's big news, there's a new Call of Duty coming out, Black Ops 3. Well, apparently, there has, I still laugh at this, I thought this was I'm just going to talk about it. And I hope people see why I kind of found this, maybe not funny, but it's kind of, did they really do this? But it was on the Call of Duty Twitter page or account. It was changed to be like fake news stories that they're to promote Black Ops 3's like the fictional news and the campaign of Black Ops 3. Small problem with this, they didn't tell anybody. So I think people who followed the Twitter page knew that this was kind of a joke, or maybe not a joke, but it's advertising, it's an ad campaign. Well, they retweet these, and people were reading that going, oh god, this is all really happening in real life, which they caused panic. And it actually did cause panic, because they were claiming not claiming, but they were writing about bombings in Singapore and fake quarantines. I personally find it funny that this is all this big ad campaign for a campaign that's apparently only going to cost $10. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with that, this new Call of Duty is going to be released on last gen consoles as well as current gen, with a slight tweak. But 360 and PS3 editions will not feature the campaign and are going to cost $50. It will be multiplayer only and cost $50, which keeps bringing up the joke that apparently Call of Duty campaign is only worth $10. I really don't have a segue into these next couple of stories, but I found them interesting. I thought people might enjoy hearing about them. First off, is Metal Gear Solid 5. I believe the Metal Gear Online has just been released. I've been hearing really good things out of that. But the forward operating base concept is getting a slight change. Well, maybe not change, but it's getting an addition of a this is kind of a first. I've never, at least for me, I've never seen this. But apparently, this is going to be a microtransaction that Konami is instilling that will, you can pay real money to ensure your resources on your forward operating base. Basically, an enemy player comes in, takes the resource. They get the resources and all, the men, the resources, whatnot. They get these. But you get them either back or you basically keep them. It's a really weird system, and if you ask me, I personally, in this case, I don't mind it. I'm not a huge. I don't like. The DLC isn't the word, but I don't like paywalling content. I don't like microtransactions, especially pay to win. I really don't like these, but I just find this just really funny. I don't know why I find it funny. I just think it's kind of funny. Moving on, Criterion Games, most known for their hit series Burnout, very popular racing franchise, apparently is in the works with a spiritual successor. Take from that what you will. Moving on, CD Projekt Red, most known for its franchise, for its Witcher franchise. Very good games if you have not played them. I personally own 1 and 2 on Steam, and I own the 3rd one on my PS4. Great games. I can't say go back and play them enough. Seriously, go play these games. Great experience. But apparently CD Projekt Red's one of their biggest out front, like their biggest project, is a game called Cyberpunk 2077, which, they've been really caging on the details other than the fact that they're working on it. But apparently it's been released that it is going to be, and they really talked sorry, I'm stuttering. They did not talk about scale, to what degree. All we know is that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be far bigger than The Witcher 3. And if you had not played The Witcher 3 or seen its map, it is a very large game. So, best of luck to CD Projekt Red. I'm a big fan of the company after The Witcher, and I'd love to see what they're going to do with Cyberpunk 2077. Now moving on to some news from Naughty Dog, as most people, probably known for their series Uncharted, The Last of Us, and one of my personal favorites, Jak and Daxter. Well, apparently Naughty Dog has their... I'm sorry, I keep coughing. Apparently Naughty Dog has released a statistic that 80% of PS4 owners have not played the Uncharted games, which is, I guess, a little detrimental to them, seeing that Uncharted 4 comes out March? Yeah, I believe it's March. And which is great to say, because the Uncharted collection, or Nathan Drake collection, has come out. It's all of the games in the series that came out on PS3. Unfortunately, Golden Abyss is not on it, Golden Abyss being the PS Vita exclusive, except I expect to see that one on PS4 eventually. I don't know when, and that's just a wild guess, but I'm going to guess that we're going to see it sometime. But, apparently this is very similar to The Last of Us Remastered, and, that game, again, I didn't play last gen. I was a 360 guy, I didn't play The Last of Us last gen. The remaster was very good, and I'm about to start playing Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, and my review for Drake's Fortune, the first game, should be up. I'm gonna be a little ambitious in saying it should be up by Sunday. At the latest, it will be up by Sunday, and I will say the other 2 games will fall in the beginning of next week. At the latest, I'm hoping I can finish, I believe Drake's Deception, the 3rd one. That review should be up at the latest by Wednesday. That's about all that. But in the same article, in this article is from IGN, written by Luke Kamali, I believe is how it's spelled, Kamali. Spoke with studio community strategist Eric Monacelli, not 100% sure. There's been some rumors that Last of Us 2 is going to be made, and personally, I hope. God, The Last of Us was so good. I've been wanting a sequel to that game ever since I played the remastered. Well, actually, ever since I saw gameplay of it on PS3. But apparently, Monticelli, whatever, when pressed about Last of Us 2, said, who knows, and this is also straight from the article, who knows, we could go back to Jak and Daxter 4, which also I would not mind. Getting into, I'm going to say this is a little bit of a sadder news. This is, I got this right before I started recording. Apparently Jessica Curry, if you don't know who that is, she is the co-director of The Chinese Room. This was the developer who was behind Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I did not play this game. It didn't really appeal to me right when it came out. But Metacritic, IGN, pretty much every site that I can think of gave it good reviews. I'd suggest going and trying it out if you haven't yet. But Jessica Curry has announced that, in a blog post on the Chinese Room website, I'm sorry, I'm probably, like I said, I got this right before I started recording. I don't have it in my notes. I'm gonna read a bit from the actual blog post. And it's titled, Why I'm Sort of Leaving the Chinese Room. She's leaving, as she put it, for 3 big points. One is, if you follow her on Twitter as well, she is, I believe, is suffering from a progressive illness, which, unlike cancer or stroke or heart attack, as she says, you really can't fight it. She's having terrible fatigue, and she's having a lot of problems with her disease, and which brings into the second point of the disease was making it very hard. She had a tough time dealing with publishers. It was, she was just having a lot of issues with the illness and dealing with the publishers and the stress of the job after Rapture. And her third and final point is a very hot topic in the video game industry right now, which is the industry and its sexism. I'm not going to say a whole lot about this on my personal things. I think this is maybe even its own video on its own. If you want to see that, again, comments below. Or if you have your own opinions on sexism in the video game industry, please, comments below. I will say this quick thing. I think I have no problem with women, leading companies, designing video games. I have no problem with female characters. People love and hate Tomb Raider. I thought Lara Croft in the new, in the 2013 remake, I liked the character. I thought she was well written, was not the Lara Croft of old. I've had people who've been on both sides of that discussion saying that, she finally good representation of female characters, and I've heard the other converse side of she was terrible, and I personally like the character. But going back to the article itself, she was leaving because her the other co-director, Dan Pinchbeck, I'm stating this. Jessica was constantly, as she says, referred to, or had journalists assuming that she was Dan's personal assistant, or that she'd been referred to as Dan Pinchbeck's wife. This is really sad that, a woman can't. Why the media can't give her the credit she deserves for what she did. I'm very big on credit where credit's due. And I find this, I guess I'd say disgusting. I just don't understand why this is still a problem with this industry. Constantly, she does not blame Dan Pinchbeck. I believe in here she says, I love Dan so much. He is talented, intelligent, shining souled man. This is not a rejection of him, but of the society that still can't cope with the fact that a woman might just be as talented as the man she shares her life with. I find this, I don't know, I think she's right on the money with that. Earlier she says, let's think here. Other quotes from this is the fact that magazines would only feature Dan as the studio head, or let me find the exact quote. When Dan has said, Jess is the brains of the operation, people have knowingly chuckled and cooed that it's nice of a husband to be so kind about his wife. as she puts it, I don't have enough paper to write down all of the indignities that I've faced. Partly, it was my fault. I don't like doing talks. Dan loves them, and he naturally became the public face of the studio. People assumed that he was the creative force behind the company, and I didn't want to seem like an egotist. So I let them carry on with what they were thinking. She also then goes on to say, last year I had a beautiful idea for Rapture. Dan went to LA, and while he was there, he told Sony about it. When he returned, I said, what did they think of my idea? He admitted that he'd ascribed the idea to one of our team members, not me. He was genuinely bewildered by my anger and asked, but why does it matter who gets the credit? And her response was, it only doesn't matter who gets the credit when you're the person who always gets the credit. I think she is spot on in her anger. I believe eventually, she wrote the music to this game. She's going to continue doing music in some capacity. I believe, here it is, I'm about to embark on a large-scale music project with Carol Ann Duffy, our wonderful poet laureate, sorry, I can't read right now. And if you'd like me to write some music for you, then please do get in touch. I hope I speak like most of the gaming industry and wish Jessica Curry the best of luck in her upcoming endeavors and with her illness. It's very sad to hear about somebody in this industry who's apparently as talented as her going through something like this. Going back to I don't want to say happier news because now I'm going to talk about the possible voice actor strike. That's right. Getting really depressing right now. But apparently the SAG-AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Stars. Try saying that 3 times fast. They apparently passed a referendum recently with 96% voting for a potential strike. Now this does not mean that they are currently on strike. All this means is that they can declare they are on strike at any time, and this is all members of the SAG must go on strike. So that 4% who voted no don't really have a choice. They are demanding. Let me read here. I'm sorry. I'm making sure I'm reading this just so I make sure that I get this exactly correct. Their demands include residual pay for games that sell over 2 million copies. It's similar to what they do in the film industry. Once a movie hits this amount of profits, some money is tossed back to the actors. And which, I think is fair enough. Stunt pay for stressful recording sessions, if they have to shout, use, which is stressful on their vocal cords, it's their livelihood. Again, I think a lot of these demands are very reasonable. It might cost the game company a little bit of money, but, and a stunt coordinator on site for performance capture, which that shocks me that already isn't a thing. But yeah, again, if you have any comments on this, please hit the comments below. Facebook, Twitter. I'm gonna keep plugging those because I just starting out. And, I'm trying to get the word to spread. Sorry. Getting into my final couple of topics. Ubisoft. Everybody loves and hates this company. But one of their flagship franchises, the Far Cry series, has just announced a new game, and some of this information that I'm pulling from is from Mitch Dyer at IGN. He wrote a very nice article. You can find it at IGN.com. Also, you can follow Mitch Dyer on Twitter at MitchyD. But basically, the new game is Far Cry. Sorry, that's my nose. The new game is Far Cry Primal and is, I'm going to say this, set for release at 2/23/2016. So February 23rd, we get a new Far Cry game. I think they're following the Fallout method of we're going to hold off announcing this game until right when it comes out, which was fantastic. I still remember watching the Bethesda press conference and was just baffled when I believe it was Todd Howard said I was expecting one of a couple things. Him to either say, do one of those, this is the game we're working on and you can play it right now, which, I thought that was a long shot, but I was also really expecting, this game's coming out in 2017. But yeah, he surprised me coming out later this year, November 10th. It's going to be, my opinion, I think it's going to be great. But back on the Ubisoft front, Far Cry Primal, like I said, for 2016. The game is going to be set in 10,000 BC. Yes, this is a game that is going to let you hunt woolly mammoth, saber-toothed tigers, and other creatures of that era. You will take the role of, I'm going to hope I pronounce this correctly, but I have no idea. I believe it's Takar. He is a member of a hunting party in the land of Oros. Players will hunt animals for crafting material. They'll use animal bones and skins for materials of any, crafting, weapons and whatnot. So, finally, it looks like the weapons will be crafted as opposed to just bought. You will also hunt animals for food, which makes me think that there might be a little bit of a survival aspect in this game, which I really hope so, because I think that could be really fun and put in the game. And finally, you will apparently fight other tribes to conquer Oros. That can be done in a bunch of different ways. I have high hopes for this game, and I think it's going to do very well. Far Cry, fantastic franchise. And actually, that brings me to what I'm playing this week. I actually went back, kind of dusted off some of my, I'm not going to say older games, but, my games from last year. Sorry. My games from last year, and I pulled out Far Cry 4. I'm going to guess I'm about at least 10 hours into it right now, and I still say, great game. Personally, in my opinion, go back generation before the 360 and PS3 era. Go play Far Cry 3. I thought the story development was a little better in that one. Yeah, again, personal opinion. I'm going to check out either of those games. Really, really fun. And into my final, topic is the new game in the Assassin's Creed franchise. And if you can't figure out, if you haven't caught glimpses of the shirt I'm wearing, I am a big Assassin's Creed fan. It was the game that really pulled me into gaming back in 2007. And now, don't get me wrong, that series has had a lot of ups and downs, and I really hope Syndicate can pick it back up after the big down that was Assassin's Creed Unity. I still remember getting Unity, cause I went and I did the midnight release. I'm doing the midnight release for Syndicate, but I did the midnight release at Unity. I'm in the car, I'm all excited, going home. I get in, throw it in my PS4, it downloads. Oh, all right, I'm playing. I start playing, I'm probably about 5 hours into the game, and I'm going, this is good. Yeah, this is good. I kept telling myself, this game is good. I think I just wanted it to be good so badly. I just couldn't see that it was a buggy mess, and I still remember that PC glitch, which caused young Elise's face not to render, so it's just an eyeball and mouth, and it's like, absolutely hilarious. But apparently, it has been announced that Syndicate will take up 40.27, that is 40.27 gigabytes of space on the Xbox One. The PS4, I'm going to assume is similar, but it has not been announced. Same with PC. If you have not checked out any of the Assassin's Creed, the trailers are all very good. Usually they are, but very good. Some of the gameplay, especially the gameplay from back, I want to say it was in June in San Francisco. Ubisoft had a kind of a preview event. A bunch of people went and played it. There's a bunch of stuff on IGN. I believe last month it was their first look, or maybe not first look, but they were looking at the game, and it's being said, the combat very more brutal, up close. Very satisfying. The free running is still the same system as the last one, a lot smoother. Finally getting rid of multiplayer, competitive and cooperative. There's still a good amount of customization. You can switch both between Evie Fry and Jacob Fry, the two protagonist, which I'm very excited about that. Singular fact, Ubisoft keeps saying, like they're trying to tell kind of like a new story, like this brother sister story. If you don't know, the two protagonists, Jacob and Evie Fry, are twins and very different characters, yet they have this really nice kind of synchronicity between them. Synchronicity, that's kind of funny. But no, you see Jacob, he's much brash. He reminds me a lot of Edward Kenway and Ezio, which it's kind of funny. I think he has Ezio's brashness with the Edward Kenway's kind of cocky swagger. He knows what he's doing. He can kill anyone he wants, and he knows it. So Jacob has this really fun, outgoing personality, while Evie, he's kind of the public face of this gang that you start in Syndicate called the Rooks, while Evie kind of has this, she thinks before acting. She's a lot, not quieter, but, she has a little bit more of a wit to her than Jacob does. She, another really interesting character. I'm very interested to see how these two come together and make this game what it will be, coming out this October 23rd. What else? Anything else on Assassin's Creed Syndicate that I'm forgetting? October 23rd, and storage space. Yeah, I think that's about it for this week's news, or at least what I have. I want to apologize to any PC and Nintendo users out there. I didn't have a lot of news. I didn't find a lot of news on Nintendo or PC. If you have any links or anything that you found that was interesting, please, again, comments. Go to the Facebook page. Go to Twitter. Find it. Throw a link on those. Bring this news out to the public. I'll try and find more on both those sectors next week for my second official episode. Like I said, if you like this video, please, I beg you, like the video, subscribe, find the Facebook, Twitter, my website, all that, follow, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm AJ Gels. This has been 11th Hour Gaming. I'm out.